In this video, we're going to show you how you can make 7 figures from your online course or coaching program, even if you're getting very little views on social media. And in case you're wondering who I am, my name is Imran Ibn Mansur. I'm a student of Islamic knowledge, and I'm also a 7-figure entrepreneur, alhamdulillah. And on this channel, we've generated over 53 million plus views, and we use those views to spread our da'wah and fill up the masjid, and also to make 7 figures from our courses that we sell online. So I know a little something about what type of content gets views and what type of content doesn't get views. And if you watch all the way to the end, I'm going to share with you how you can gain access to our 7 steps to 7 figures for course creators and coaches. Inshallah, let's get into it. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Righteous and Rich podcast. Today we're talking about the rich side of things, about how to optimize your businesses. So, today's topic is around the notion of content that converts versus content that gets views. The reason why we're talking about content in the first place is because when you are marketing, and marketing is an essential thing that you need to do in order to sell, right? Because if no one knows about what it is that you're selling, they will never buy. Whenever you're marketing, those marketing messages are always a type of content, right? Back in the days, it was billboards, it was little clips that you might hear in terms of audio on a radio, it might be a little newspaper kind of poster, and today it's in the form of long form content, short form content, blah blah blah. And we know that the social media content realm, when it comes to marketing, is massive, right? So a lot of people who are running businesses, Bakr, they are making the mistake of optimizing for views and not optimizing for money, right? Yes. And this is a mistake that even we've made in the past, right? Measuring the wrong metrics. Now, views helps you get famous, right? Content that converts helps you make money. And there's a massive difference. And I used to have this issue a lot of the times, right? With our content, with our media team. I remember, we discussed it on a previous podcast, Brother Abid, yeah. Right? Like that one time I was going to sack him because he made a video that looked pretty, but it was terrible. In terms of like, there's no way this would sell. There's no way this would sell. I was confused. Like, how could you give me this, right? As our head of media. But he learned, Allahumma barik.
That was actually like a turning point for him.
Alhamdulillah, which since then he's developed the 6-figure video method, right? Allahumma barik, and he's actually teaching brothers how to make content that converts in terms of videographers. Likewise, I used to have this discussion with Sammy. I say, bro, this right here might look pretty, it might look nice, but is it going to grab the attention of the audience, right? This poster or whatever have you, this thumbnail. And Allah Barak Sami is obviously a master of his craft, and he's come a long way as well. So we want to teach people how to make content that makes money. And it might come as a shock, or it doesn't even have to get very many views. It doesn't have to get very many.
There was
views.
Recently, right? You were saying that there's a channel that was spoken about that I think they had like 5,000 subscribers, and they're literally making millions per year just from those 5,000 subscribers because of how valuable their content is for those 5,000 people. Yeah.
Think about it, bro. If I'm speaking to 10,000 people, right? If I'm speaking to if I've got 10,000 people watching my video, right? Actually, let me bring it back a step. How many people do I actually need to sell? Like, most people's conversion rate for when they're selling something, right, is like a decent a terrible conversion rate would be 10%. A terrible conversion rate would be for every 10 people you speak to, one of them will buy, right? So in a video, if you got 100 views, that's 10 sales. It's 10 sales. That's if your video was optimizing for the sale. Do you understand? Like, it was giving them content for the purpose of selling to them. Do you understand? Also, there's other things to take into account. For example, the 7-4-11 rule, which we'll come into in a bit more detail, which is that people don't buy the first time they see. So you've got to be able to create content that gets them to come back, because you want to sell to them on the 11th touch point, right? Inshallah. So anyway, we're going to go into a few things, inshallah ta'ala. I've narrowed it down to 5 things, right? And I believe that these 5 things, wallahu a'lam, really helped us. These are 5 things that we did. That we really focused on these 5 things to take our content from content that gets views, which helps you get famous, which is not even something that the deen even encourages. You're not even allowed to seek fame. You're not even allowed to seek fame, period. Like, do you understand? We use these 5 things to move away from that type, focus on this type. And by the way, this will also help in da'wah. It actually makes me sick to the core of my stomach, and maybe we'll talk about this at some point in this video or in another video. But people in da'wah who are optimizing for views, we should be optimizing for for khair, akhi. Just if one person watches and you know what? Actually, I'll tell you a story on this, right? Just to drive the point home, because it applies in business as well. There's a sheikh who I studied with during COVID, and just before COVID, I started studying with the sheikh, and hardly anyone would turn up to his classes. There was like 4 people that used to turn up. Me and my brother were 2 of them, right? And we used to manage the classes for him. He's a sheikh from Somalia who was doing his PhD in Medina at the time. And I remember one time listening to his fiqh class, Matan Nabi Shuja', and there was like 60 views. 60 views, akhi, right? And I remember laughing to myself, thinking, subhanAllah, this is barakah from Allah Azza wa Jal. Maybe due to the sheikh's sincerity, because you know who from those 60 were? One was me, one was my brother, and then one was Ustad Yasin, right? And the other brothers who I won't mention, who if I was to mention, you'd be like, whoa, like guys who are massive in the da'wah, and multiple, like I would say at least 10 people, which is more than 10% of the viewership of that video, which is, by the way, a series, right? Where like some of the key and most known figureheads in the da'wah. So this is a sheikh. At the end of the day, he's not trying to make money, right? He just wants to spread the khair. So for him, it makes sense that the guys who are most active, who are going to take this knowledge and spread it to the different corners of the earth, would listen to him. But he probably had no idea, right? But he was creating the type of content that would reach out to people like us. So if you would see the video, you'd see 60 views. But guess what? Those 60 views are then going to be the result of, because remember, he's not optimizing for views or likes or money. He's optimizing for the khair to spread. So akhi, you can bet your bottom dollar the khair spread in the tens of millions after that.
Okay, so let's get into the first of the 5, which is quality.
Okay, beautiful.
And by quality,
what do you mean by quality? Yeah.
We're not necessarily referring to quality of the video in terms of the resolution. No, that is good. Have 4K and 8K even nowadays, and red magic camera, black magic camera, whatever it's called, and all of this. That is something that a lot of people, when they first get into creating content, they start focusing on that.
Yeah.
How can I get the best camera, the best lens, the best, set and microphone and this and this and this, and they neglect the key thing, which is the substance.
By the way, just very quickly, if you're finding this information to be valuable and you want to learn more, you want everything in a structured way, all the facts, no waffle, we've got something called the Righteous and Rich School, where we go through the 7 steps to 7 figures formula in detail and depth. You've also got a community of like-minded brothers that are supporting you, that are helping you solve problems. There are lives that I do, and you have access to my team, my executive team, sales, marketing, the whole shebang. And there are also so many other courses on different areas of business outside the 7 steps that we're just giving as supportive knowledge to help you just grow, so you can take your business to 7 figures and beyond, so you can become a rich slave of Allah and use that wealth to please Him. How do you access that? Just click on the link below, inshallah ta'ala, and there you go. You have access to the Righteous and Rich School. You can sign up to it on that page when you click on that link. With that said, let's get back into the discussion.
And the value that you're going to provide itself.
So you're saying that what you're actually saying on camera is gonna be more important than the way what you're saying looks.
Yes, no doubt it's good to have, we're here in a professional studio for a reason. There's a reason why we're not just sitting there recording on our phones. With that said though, I've seen people, millionaires, put out videos online that get hundreds of thousands of views. People were like, wow, this is crazy benefit. Screen sharing, yeah. Sometimes just recording on the front camera of their phone. It's not even the best quality, but it's just they're giving the value. That overshadows the quality problem.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? But a lot of people don't understand that, and we found that with the Umrah setup. People were like, "Yeah, no, I'm spending time on this." Have you actually spent that amount of time instead of researching cameras and this and that, on researching your niche, on researching what you're going to be talking about, your content pillars, your attractive character, and all these other things? No, bro, I haven't. You're focusing on the wrong quality.
So I think the issue here that a lot of people, for example, because we're in the e-learning space, right? Where people sell courses or coaching programs, a lot of people feel like if I put my best quality out there for free, then what will I sell? Right? This is a common issue people have. So how would they navigate around this?
Well, look, the reality is you can still sell implementation. Give the education, the knowledge away for free. Like, for example, I'll give you an example, right? One of the biggest things that was gatekeeping people from entering the Umrah industry was what? The licensing issue. Yeah. You had to have £50,000 to get your own license. Yeah. And people were like, oh, that's crazy. We actually on the website of our page, before anyone even bought it, gave away that for free. Save people £50,000. If you want to set up your Umrah company, you're free to do so. Yeah. But if you want to set up a 6-figure Umrah company in the footsteps of brothers that have already done it, giving you the guidelines, the details of each and every single step that we took, how you can take it, and like literally A to Z, spoon feeding them, then bro, you got to pay.
Yeah, 100%.
And bro, many people paid. Despite getting the legal side of it for free, they still paid. And we made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of that.
Yeah, so I think one thing that people need to understand here is that if you're in the info space, right, which is the space of selling courses, there's pretty much nothing that you're going to teach people that they can't find online for free. I think that's a reality that we just need to just accept, right?
Yeah.
Anyone who goes out there, they could pretty much find everything that you're saying that you're going to be teaching for free, right?
100%.
Online. Now, so then why would people buy courses, right? Because of a couple of things. Number one, you're bringing all of that information together. I think the convenience of it all being here in 16 lessons.
Same reason why when you go to a shop and buy a burger, you spend more.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the grocery store, buying the patty, buying the bread, buying the sauce, figuring out how to make the sauce.
Exactly.
You will pay 5 times more.
Yeah.
Because
and it's not just that. It's also the fact that you put it in that order. Right? You've put it in the order of this first, that next, so on and so forth. The third thing, as you said, is sell the implementation, right? And that could be through means of accountability, mentorship, things like that. The other thing is access. People don't realize. People are buying to have access to be able to have access to those Q&As for you to answer their questions, right? People are also buying for status. I'm in this circle now. I'm in this group now. And they also they'll pay because of usually each of these info products come with a community, right? A support community of people that are students, but especially if it's a very niche course, they are people that they can not just, it's not like you're going to sit here and learn and revise. You're going to break bread and do business together, bro. Right? So,
but that will only come up. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go for it.
But that will only come about if they see the value in your free stuff. Like even me recently, I'll give you an example, right? Recently I've been on this health thing. Yeah. And I came across this guy on YouTube his channel's called The Natural Edge. Just about fitness. He used to be in the special forces. So it's about fitness being hard to kill. That's the video that I saw. Then I started watching a few of his videos. Me, myself, I just went into the description, found a link. What does he offer? I clicked on it. He offers live coaching for businessmen and CEOs stuff. I even went to his calendar, but Qadrullah was all locked off. I think he's not selling anything anymore. But me, myself, just from the value that I got from his free content that he was given online, I started to seek out, okay, cool, how can I pay this guy to benefit me?
And that's the thing, right? What you have to understand is that the majority of people who watch your content will not buy from you. But it's that 10%. Or like, you know what? This guy could help me. Like I actually need to get on the phone to him, right? So people should never be afraid to put your free stuff out there. We have an online community we're called the Righteous and Rich School, where we're gonna actually teach people our 7 steps to 7 figures. I'm teaching you some of that content right here, right now. And then you're still gonna buy, right? And sign up to that community. Why? Because there's an ocean that I have to offer to you. I just have to make sure that whatever it is that I'm giving you right now, this little droplet from the ocean is valuable. And I'm not going to be shy to give it to you. And I'm going to sprinkle these droplets all over my channel today, next week, to show you how valuable that school community is going to be. The issue here is that most people just don't have substance. So then my simple answer to that is go and acquire substance. Learn, bro. Like one of the reasons why I have no problem giving away whatever knowledge I have for free on this channel, right, is because I'm always growing with Allah's permission. So what I gave you today, I just learned something else tomorrow, right? And that doesn't mean book knowledge. Like I'm doing things, so I've got implementation knowledge as well. So quality is important. So I think optimizing for quality in terms of content over quality in terms of production is important. The second thing, bro, is, and also what comes into that is lighting and editing and all that. The second thing, bro, is the length of the video. Now, this is something that I feel a little bit passionate about, right?
Why?
Is because a lot of brothers are selling themselves short and they're leaving a lot of money on the table by opting in to just focus on short form content. Like most entrepreneurs and businessmen, especially those guys who are selling courses and coaching programs, actually their primary source of income is short form content. When for that particular niche and that particular industry, which is the e-learning space where you're selling courses and coaching programs, actually, YouTube is where the money's made, right? Long form is where the money's made. And I'm going to give you some proof. So Google, right, released some data. And they released something called the 7-4-11 rule on the back of this data. And what is the conclusion of this data? It shows you how many times and how long people need to come into contact with your content before they buy from you, right? And this is very important because the conclusion of this research was they need to come into contact with you for a very long period of time, right?
7 hours.
7 hours, 4 different platforms, 11 different touch points. So 11 times, right? So 7 hours altogether in 4 different places, 11 times. So it can't be 7 hours in a row. It has to be 7 hours divided into 11 different times in 4 different locations. And akhi, if all you're doing is releasing 1-minute videos on Instagram or TikTok, right? Or 1-minute shorts, akhi, it's going to be a very long time before one person watches 7 hours of your content. Now you might sit there and say, but akhi, people are still buying, right? Even though I only release 1-minute clips. They don't need 7 hours. You have no idea
How much more
you have zero idea, right? So this really hit us for 6 when we, for the Umrah setup, which was our last course that we were selling before the 7 steps to 7 figures, where we were just focusing on Instagram. We only had a short form strategy, right? Like I remember actually even saying to you, why are we not releasing content on YouTube? Like what's going on? Like it's just not coming out, right? And we completely, it's not even like we didn't want to do it. We just didn't. Right, because we were caught up in so many other things. We spoke to our sales team one day and we're like, so what is the most valuable customer? What's the guy that's the warmest lead, the hottest lead, the easiest to close, the most valuable, the one that is, just gives their money there and then? The guys that come from the YouTube podcast. But you know what's crazy, bro? Is we were not even for the longest time, we didn't even have a single ad. You didn't even have a single ad on YouTube promoting the Umrah setup course. Yet during that time, the most valuable lead came from the podcast. They just happened to stumble upon the ad on Instagram as well, which why they wait is not likely, right? People who watch short form don't watch long form. Those who watch long form don't really watch short form. There's studies that actually show this, but maybe they were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's actually studies to show this. People say, "Oh, the short form is going to push people to the long form." Nope. Think about it, right? What do you watch more than anything else?
Well, now I've deleted Instagram off my
But
phone.
what did you used to?
I'd say it was well, I mean, I used to watch more long form.
Okay, no. Here's the question: the guys that you watched on long form, did you then go seek them out on short form?
No.
The guys that you watched on short form, did you seek them out on long form? As a general rule of thumb.
Sometimes not necessarily, no.
Not necessarily, right? That's the point. Is that the guys you watch on short form, you watch them on short form.
Okay,
the guys you watch on long form, you just watch them on long form. So
that makes sense.
People think that crossover happens. It doesn't, right? It doesn't. The short form has its benefit. And we'll make probably a separate video on the short form strategy in and within itself one day. But if you're a course creator and you want to make money, bro, optimize for the long form stuff because you have no idea how much money you're leaving on the table, right? So what was the point that I was mentioning? I was saying
the time Google.
So our thing. So then we changed we started putting little sprinkles of advertisement on our long form. Actually, and we hit the biggest months that we ever hit before, right? We hit an 80K a month, alhamdulillah. Like it's actually nuts when you think about it, right? So optimize for length, right? And not the short form stuff. And again, why is it that most brothers, bro, I want you to ask this question. Why do you think most brothers are nervous to go from the short form to the long form? What's usually the biggest thing that comes to their mind? Let's see if we're on the same page.
Because short form is relatively easy. Like you could just memorize 5 lines and you can just blurt them out and that's it. Like it sounds like you know what you're talking about. You sound like an authority. Whereas coming onto the long form, bro, I have to sit for half an hour and talk.
Yeah.
Like as they say, you can only walk another man's walk for a certain period of time.
Yep.
Eventually you get caught out.
You're right.
So I feel like that's a big reason for a lot of people.
What could be another reason?
They just feel like it's just long to do. It's just like, right, that's long. Like I just have the time for it.
You think it's got something to do with the fact that they know that the moment they transfer over to YouTube, they're gonna now not get very many views?
Possibly as well.
I feel that's a big thing. I actually spoke to a couple of brothers and they told me, bro, but when I start on YouTube, I'm not gonna get the views. And no, I wanted to slap the brothers. I said, bruv, what are you? Are you some female that like is posting pictures of herself just trying to get male attention, just trying to get a bunch of views and get famous for no reason? Or are you trying to make money? Bruv, it's got nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with the views. What you have to realize is that the algorithms are so good. Yeah. They are so good that it will take your video and place it in front of the person that is an ideal customer. Right? If you're just specific in your messaging, right? In the video, not even the title, in the video, they have AI that studies the video and then places that video in front of the right type of person. You have no idea. So I feel like a lot of people, to be honest, wallah man, they're actually trying to get famous. I actually think that's disgusting. I feel that's sickening. Do you understand? And
especially because there's famous people out there. Trust me, they're not making money.
Yeah.
They got hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of followers and this, that, one, but they're not making no money because they don't understand how to monetize.
He said it's the pandemic of the broke millionaires. So what are you talking about? The guys who have 1 million followers, but they're broke.
But they're broke.
You understand?
So even like with Premier Supercars, Dubai, for example, recently, alhamdulillah, like it's been blowing in terms of views. Like,
Shout out to Sufyan.
but these are shout out to Sufyan. But these are like the way I see these views. A bit of a crude example to like one night stands.
Yeah.
The guy will just come, he'll see the video on his finger, he'll scroll, he'll move. You want that committed relationship.
Yeah.
You want that committed marriage with your viewer. You want them to be people. That's what I've even said to them is we start doing vlogs in the showroom, show it what's going on, whether it's a daily vlog or a weekly vlog or whatever. People keep coming back. People build that brand relationship and that will keep the brand in their mind.
100%. So the thing here is optimize for what?
Long form. That's not to say don't do short form. It's got its place. It's got its place in the funnel.
100%.
But that's more to bring new people and make them aware of you.
Yeah.
Whereas the long form is to actually nurture the lead and make them more aware of you, build a better connection with you, and then eventually buy from you.
So with that said, remember the 7-4-11 rule, right? So you want to try and create 7 hours of content. By the way, 7 hours of content that's directly bringing people back to your product, right? So that doesn't mean 7 hours of ad, but 7 hours of value, 7 hours of quality value at the end, which finishes with the CTA. Hey, I've got something for you, right? And you want to make sure that you put that on 4 different places. And that could be YouTube, that could be the podcast app, that could also be Instagram and TikTok. It has its place. It could also be the mailing list, right? You want to get them on the mailing list and then retarget them on the mailing list. And 11 times, i.e., you have to play the long game, right? And if there's a guy who sat with you for 7 hours, right? In 4 different places. Just think about it on a human level. Let's just say you met with someone 11 times in 4 different locations, all together for 7 hours. Or don't you have a relationship with that person? Especially if in every one of those places that guy was giving you quality that was helping you solve that problem in your life.
100%.
Right? And then you say, now it's time to give me your money. And they'll be willing to do so. Do you understand?
Or as I mentioned earlier myself, they'll be seeking you out. How can I pay this guy?
100%.
Where is his paid product so I can benefit from him more?
100%. So optimize for length and instead of a short form, right? Cool. Now let's move on to the next thing, which is what type of content should you make if it's long form, right? If we're talking about long form, what type of content? Because I feel like this is where people get baffed now. Should I do a vlog? Personally, I don't know. I'm not saying the vlog thing is dead. It has its place. But I feel like from a business perspective, there's other things that you could do that are going to be way more beneficial, right? But I'm not going to say the vlog doesn't have its place. I do believe for something like Premier Supercars, the vlog...
It depends on the type of business that you have.
But if you're in the e-learning space, which is you're selling courses, I feel like this right here, inshallah ta'ala, is going to be the breakdown for you.
That's interesting because just a month or 2 ago, you were very set on vlogs.
Yeah.
And now you did 180.
Can I be honest with you, Akhi? I was not, and I believe the vlog thing actually does have a space because it falls under one category here. Right? I just realized it. But the reason I was trying to push the vlog thing, I never really even wanted to, if I'm honest with you. It was that conversation that me, you and Abbas had in Element. Do you remember back in like September? And you guys were really pushing for it, right?
About the lifestyle.
And then you started it, and I saw the success of that channel, Alarm Badik. But I just realized.
But even then, that vlog wasn't a. I mean, it's as you talk about the Sharjah ones.
Yeah.
It's a vlog, but that is a different type of vlog.
It's more of a demonstration.
Not a lifestyle.
It's actually a demonstration.
It's a demonstration. I'm actually showing you this is what
you're right.
This is what you're looking. This is your lifestyle that you're gonna get.
Right. And the thing is, for me, because my demonstration is more knowledge based, right?
Yeah.
So there's not really much for me to
do
show.
that in a vlog.
You understand? And I'm not really on. I understand when we do the road trips, no worries, we can create a vlog.
Of course, because again, that's a demonstration of this is what you're going to get if you join the next one.
Oh, yeah. But the vlog thing, like even the last 2 vlogs, I just deleted them. I didn't release them. I told Sufyan, scrap that. I don't know. But anyway, it has its place. So look, here are the 5 types of content that you need to focus on. Number 1, right? A mini course. What's a mini course? What we're doing right here is a mini course. In case you're baffed, this is a mini course.
Just
right?
going through, just teaching you
5
education.
steps, right? 5 steps to get more conversions on YouTube over views, right? Like this is a mini course. Do you understand? So
that you're getting for free.
Yeah. Bear in mind that this is what we're giving you in this mini course, a small part of a greater course that is going to be on our 7 steps to 7 figures, which is social media strategy. Right? And this is not even, we're not even giving you all of the YouTube stuff. Not because I'm trying to withhold it. Well, I'd fully even give it to you, but it's just going to be too much for you to digest. Point being is that this is a mini course. Give away, like it's what people call lead magnets. Like all of the lead magnets that people are creating should actually be on YouTube for free. for free. So the person's like, oh, but then how would I get someone's email? Bro, it doesn't matter.
They will come to you. If you give them enough value, they will come to you.
Bro, you can, the email could be for an offer, right? The email, you could still have something juicy behind the scenes. Even if it's already online, people still give you an email to access it because they can't bother to find it online. Yeah. So just like, don't worry about that.
And an interesting thing, and I'm only going to talk about myself here, is if I've come across someone for the first time and I want to see what their lead magnet is, but I have to put my email in to access it, but 9 times out of 10, I'll put in a bug email. I'm bob@gmail.com. But if, however, I'm seeking out this person, and I know that there's going to be value in there, and I don't want to miss the emails that he's going to send out to me, I will 100% put my main email. So even though you might be getting emails, you got to look at the quality of those emails. What kind of quality of people are you bringing in?
100.
How many of those emails are fake, and you're going to get bounces, and then you it's going to skew the data that you're going to be tracking later on. So that's all things to consider when it comes to this.
100%. So put out mini courses, right? The second thing is case studies, right? Case studies is someone that you have actually helped with your course or your coaching, right? You do a discussion with them where you go through their journey before and after. Now, this is different to a testimonial. The testimonial thing, I used to be hard on the testimonial stuff, right? I really pushed for it. But I realized, man, testimonials don't really bang, because testimonial, what's the difference? Testimonials, I've said to you, just you make a video or type, your feedback. And the thing is, people, I realize, if they are not in that emotional state that they were at the time that they solved the problem with you, they will not be able to reinvoke those feelings and that state.
100%.
So it won't translate. And I know, because there's from every single service, course or product, whether it be Umrah, whether it be the Knowledge College Online Islamic Studies, whether it be Umrah setup, whether it be 313 Roman, every single thing we put out, there are people whose lives are drastically changed. And when we ask them for testimonials, many of them who I know, and like, this guy's life has changed, right? They just weren't able to translate that. Like, imagine a guy, he was able to get married through this. He's now got money. He's probably one of the richest out of all of his people now, right? Or out of all the students' knowledge. And it's like,
Alhamdulillah, brothers helped, and it was good.
That was great.
Great.
But bro, no one believes that.
Whoever doesn't thank people hasn't thanked Allah.
Do you understand? Yeah. And the thing is that, bro, that doesn't show. Like, if you ask me, like, I would re-bring myself to that state I was in which when I benefit from this person, and then I'd give them that, you know what I'm saying? But most people can't do that. So case study, go on.
A prime example of that is the Streets to Mecca video. One of the best testimonies we ever had in the moment. I guarantee you, if we did that same video the next day, as we're at the airport, brothers would have been like, yeah, alhamdulillah, it was good, it was this, that, whatnot. But that video, people were crying, grown men crying, some of the cruddiest guys, crying their eyes out, saying, oh, this is one of the best experiences. And that was, after Allah, one of the reasons why the Ramadan took off even more than it did. Because that got 250,000 views.
It's past 300 now.
Oh,
I think that video, after Allah was responsible for probably like a good few 100,000 views, pounds. Look, that's actually a tip for testimonials, by the way. And I actually learned from my mentor, rahmahullah ta'ala, who passed away, which is that if you want to get a testimonial, get it from the person in the moment. Right? Bring them up. Like, if there's a course, a seminar, online, offline, bring them up there and then, and get them to say their piece. That's why we used to have the final night reminders, where we'd give the reminder, then we say, anyone want to come up and give a piece, and we just document that whole process. If you're doing a seminar, you could do the exact same thing, but that's not always easy, right? And that's good, but case studies are a little bit different, and they're a little bit better for the long form type of thing, right? Why? Because case studies, now I'm going to have a conversation with you. So Abu Bakr, Barakallah feek, man. Now talk to me a bit about what you do, and what was the problem that you faced before you started working with us? How did you find out about us in the first place? Okay, cool. So you had this issue. How do we help you? Okay, we did this, we did that. You go through the journey, and you're establishing your authority and the proof of what is that you're actually promising that you're going to do for people here, right? And in that, people are also learning, and that's what doesn't happen in testimonials. People don't learn in testimonials. In testimonials, it's more just, this guy's great, right? And he helped me change my life. So even testimonials, there's levels to it, right? To say this guy's great is not a great testimonial. To say my life changed, right? When I joined this guy, right? That is testimony, because people want to hear about the transformative experience over how great this guy is. It doesn't matter. Even that's a game, right? But the case study shows this guy is solid. He knows what he's talking about. He helped me change my life. And by the way, because you're dissecting the journey, I'm also learning. I'm teaching you, right? We did this, we did that, we tweaked this, we saw that number up. So case studies are great.
Also, you find out more about the person who did it, and it makes it easier for you to relate to them.
Yeah.
In testimonial, all you're hearing about is the service provider.
Yeah.
But here you're hearing about me. I came from this background. This is where I started. And you're like, oh, right, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, right, that's me.
Yeah.
But in the testimonial, it's just like, yeah, mashallah, they did amazing, blah, 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 blah. So definitely there's a lot of benefits to it. One of them is relatability as well.
Yeah. The next thing is demonstrations. All right, the next thing is demonstrations. Now, demonstrations are extremely powerful. I actually had a consultation with someone yesterday, and I really wish I recorded it, man. Subhanallah al-Azim. I honestly believe that if that came out, it would have been, one of the best ways to show that you know what you're talking about is just to demonstrate. If people are like doubting if you know how to fight, just smoke someone. I'm not telling you to smoke someone. Do you understand? But point is that when you demonstrate, it's game over. So there was a consultation I had with the brother yesterday and his team. Very good brother, very good. Allah, they're good at business. Allah barik. They were already making like multiple six figures, right? Allah barik. But there were just some blind spots, man, that they had, and I just kind of showed it. I just wish it was recorded. That's why I'm going to do a lot more of this now, inshallah ta'ala, in the future, but the demonstration thing is big, bro. And just showing, okay, look, you see, this is what's wrong with your video. That's wrong with your CTA. Look at the funnel. This is happening here. That's happening there. Look at the email. This was wrong here. Look at that. Look at this. Da-da-da. Right? People to see, wow, I have the same issue. This guy really knows what he's talking about. By the way, if you're still watching this video to this point, that does show that there's something special and unique about you, because the majority of people drop off within the first 30 seconds or a minute of a particular video. It shows that you're here because you want to actually make some serious change in your life. So for that reason, I'd like to invite you to an opportunity where you can make $1 million+, inshallah ta'ala, from revenue if you have a course or a coaching service or an agency or a community that you have monetized or are wanting to monetize. How and where? We have something called the Righteous and Rich School, where we teach the 7 steps to 7 figures. For people who are in that particular field that I've just mentioned, who want to scale to $1 million+. Alhamdulillah, I have made it a commitment to bring about 1,000 righteous and rich millionaires, rich slaves of Allah, who are going to make wealth, massive amounts of wealth, and use it to please Allah Azza wa Jal, and also so they can enjoy the blessings that Allah Azza wa Jal gives to them. We've already got people in the community that are making money, alhamdulillah. Brothers, some of them have doubled, tripled their income in the first 2.5 weeks. Inshallah, would love for you to join us if you fit the description of a course creator, community owner, agency service provider, or a coach. Click the link below and book an interview with one of our team members, inshallah ta'ala, to see if it is something that would be good for you. With that said, let's get back to the discussion. So demonstrate, right? If you're a PT, you might demonstrate. You might say, look, let me jump on a call with you and I'm going to record it. And I'm going to then give you advice live. Like, you're basically giving them the problem. Like, in essence, a demonstration is a consultation, but you record it, right? It's a consultation, wherever it is, whether you are in B2B, B2C, get your ideal client on a call, demonstrate. Do you understand? And then once you've demonstrated, what do? You just upload it. So everyone can see, okay, this guy's a boss, right? The next thing is stories. Now, stories are really powerful because they build personal relationship between you and the viewer. And this is where vlogs can come in, right? If the vlog has like a story element. And this way you just might tell stories. And it's always good to tell stories that are relevant to your niche. Right? Stories that are relevant to your niche. So story is a good one. And the last one is collabs, all right? Collaborations. Collaborations are basically you inviting guests on your podcast or you going to other people's podcasts, right? You collabing with them because you get to leverage the audience. If you bring someone on your podcast, their viewers are going to come hear about you. If you go on someone else's podcast, right, their viewers are also going to hear about you and hopefully seek you out, right? The key is that when you go on someone else's podcast, I was talking to a brother the other day, he, mashallah, tabarakallah, has been like on a lot of podcasts, collabing, right? And he has a particular product that he sells. Akhi, he hardly went on any one of those podcasts and talked about his actual area of expertise. He talked about a bunch of different things. I was like, brother, this big one thing that you're selling, why are you not demonstrating that this is your area of expertise from all these collaborations? And then let people know, by the way, I have this, come check it out, right? So it was a waste of a collaboration. You need to make sure that those collabs are around that. So,
and also keep in mind your brand.
Yeah.
You don't want to collab with people that are going to affect your brand negatively. A lot of people fall into that, and then it can cause big problems for you, and it's very hard to recover from bad PR unless you know what you're doing. And I know a lot of brothers that struggle with that.
Also, you have to consider not just your brand with the people, but your brand with Allah, right? As in your association. What I mean by that is brand is an association, right? Like what do you associate with, and how you perceive? Like how as Allah is seeing you, are you associating with people that are sinners, right? That are gonna cause your audience to sin and all of these things. Allah is a mushkila. So that's the second thing. That's the third thing, right? So we're going through quality, we're going through length, and we're going through type. Okay, now structure. Structure. So how do you structure video, Bakr?
So the first, and this is the primary and most important thing, is the first, let's say, 5 seconds of the video. If it's long form, maybe you can stretch it to 10. But the bottom line is the beginning, which is called the hook, is the most important part of the video, because that will ultimately decide whether or not a person will carry on watching the video. I don't know about you, but me, so many times I've seen a thumbnail, I've seen a title, so that looks interesting. I've clicked it, within seconds I said, nah. Just because the beginning of it was so dry, I was like, yeah, no, this is dead. And I remember this is why one of the reasons why you used to be quite against, how child my Bhai. Before, back in the days, we used to start it off and we should be messing around, joking around, and just waffling and nonsense. And you used to be like, bro, let's just get into it, because the people that are here looking for substance, they're gonna see this and think, this is not serious. Let me move on. So yeah, that's the first thing. The hook.
Well, like the hook is extremely important. Like, it's actually shocking. Yeah, you might get a video that got like 68,000 views. Just go look at the analytics and look at when people dropped off. You will notice, and I promise you, over 50% were gone by the first 30 seconds.
First 30 seconds.
And that's a good video. That's a good video.
That's a very good video.
You understand? That's a good video because it got 60k views, right? So you want, especially if you have to understand, if you've got a video where you're selling something, you want to make sure you provide value, right? The call to action is usually going to be in the middle or the end or somewhere, right? So you need to provide enough value for people to be able to think, wow. And then when they hear the CTA to think, the call to action, think, let me buy or let me subscribe or let me give him my email or whatever have you, right? So if you don't hook them, bro, you lost them. And look, if majority of people are locking off in the first 30 seconds, is that not indicative of how much effort needs to be put into the hook? We spend a considerable amount of time on our thumbnails and our titles. Like Sufyan knows, I'll sometimes spend 3 days on coming up with a title with him. 3 days is a disproportionate amount of time, you'd think, right? But why, Akhi? Because even before the video, even before the 5 seconds, Akhi, the title, right? I'm going to see the title before I even watch the first few seconds. So, and what am I going to see even before the title? The thumbnail. So the thumbnail has to capture my attention. Then the title has to capture my attention. And then in the first few 30 seconds or 10 seconds, right, I have to capture the attention. So, okay, cool. How do you structure a hook? And people are going to tell you to structure hooks in different ways. Some people are going to tell you say something crazy like, oi,
grab your attention.
Something to grab your attention. But the best way to hook for someone, especially if you're selling courses online or coaching services, and you're selling like these type of info products, is to, number one, tell people what they're going to get at the end of this video. Right? So for example, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can make crazy money from your YouTube channel, even if you're only getting hundreds of views. Right? So I've given you a dream outcome. I've given you a transformative outcome, and I've told you at the beginning you're going to get this transformative outcome. Okay, straight away when I've done that, people are interested, right? But then I need to make sure I keep their interest. And one of the best ways to do that is to establish my authority, let you know who I am, right? And then my name is Imran Ibn Mansur. I'm a student of knowledge, and also I'm a businessman who used YouTube, right, to get the message filled up and also to make $3 million. By the way, in case you're wondering, just on YouTube alone, this channel, 53 million views, right? So I know what I'm talking about. So straight away, you've established the authority. So you're like, okay, cool. And then the third thing you want to do in the hook is you want to make sure you open up a curiosity gap to make sure they stay to the end. So you say, if you stay all the way to the end, I'm going to give you something exclusive that's going to show you how you can do the exact same and scale your courses online to 7 figures. So they think, okay, cool, let me stay to the end because I'm going to get that at the end. Do you understand? So these are the 3 things in the hook, right? Number 1, tell them the transformative, like what you said in the thumbnail and the title, tell them I'm going to give it to you. Like confirm what's in the thumbnail and the title and make it transformative. I'm going to give that to you, number 1. Number 2, I'm going to then establish my authority. This is what I've done in the context of this particular thing, then I'm gonna open up a curiosity gap and hopefully you stay to the end. And then the next thing obviously is you know, you've got to retain them. The second part of the video is that's the hook, right? Then what you've got to do is you've got to
keep them.
And the way that you do that is,
well, one of the ways is through a constant series of mini hooks.
Yeah.
Like each point you're gonna make,
yeah,
give that a little hook in there as well. Because again, it's just about keeping them retained, keeping them retained with those little hooks. Another one, of course, is just value. Blow their mind, and also just tease them about what's coming next.
Yeah. So with that said, hopefully you guys benefited. The 7 steps to 7 figures, I promise you I was going to show you how you can gain access to this, inshallah ta'ala. This is not going to be some waffle. It's not going to be some, you know, mumbo jumbo stuff. I'm going to tell you 7 business steps, advanced business steps that we took to scale our courses to 7 figures. In fact, $3 million plus. So go and register at the link below ASAP, and hopefully we see you on the other side. Assalamu alaikum.